to the new members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. I decided to do this late night live. I don't know how long I'm going to be on. So as we can see, crypto is flash dropping. We showed the warning signs earlier. If the XRP could not hold 66.6 or 67 cent area, that we would have a drop down to approximately 61.5 cents first target. If that doesn't hold, then we can start looking at 58.5, 55, and 52.5. But right now, it's been nothing short of amazing with what crypto's done. Right now, XRP is attempting, well, we don't exactly know what it's attempting to do. Are we starting to, because now we've become overbought here, or oversold here when we had the drop down. So now it's kind of flagging here. Now the tricky part is with crypto, and this is why I came on. Does XRP, and I found it very interesting what it decided to do here. Does XRP do something like this, and then it starts playing out, and then crypto starts pulling up? Or do we get a massive rejection here, and then we start searching down? We're going to go into it in this live, not just on XRP, but Bitcoin as well, and a few of our others. But we've got to focus here, because now, is this the shakeout? Is this a bona fide shakeout here, or is this going to be something more? Because now, one could argue, is this going to come all the way down here? Or did this just come down and it's going to start reshaking its way back up? That was a hell of a liquidity grab there, one way or the other. But that's what I was afraid of earlier when we started to create that formation where we could not break past 75. We got up to 703 or 704 overnight last night, or early AM at like 5:30 in the morning. And then we got rejected and came back down. And now at, unfortunately, 67 cents, it became a resistance area again. And this is the fourth time now in this rising channel when we shot above. We just could not hold it. We just could not hold it. And it's not that XRP is a piece of garbage. It's just, remember what we said, if it didn't hold the 66.6 cents, we had a target to hit here at 617 approximately, to hit the outside of the cup and handle and hit the handle again. This is what Quant did right before it ran. It had a breakdown like this, and we showed it a couple nights ago, just in case XRP was attempting to do the same thing. But now if it doesn't hold this area, you could very well shoot straight through. But I think the other chart is definitely a better way to look at it. But I want to get through this intro. I just wanted to give a quick heads up of what's going on. And Bitcoin right now is down 3,250 points. It was down about 4,900 just a minute ago when I was doing the intro, or at least typing it up. So I do appreciate anybody who is watching. Please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this live. I cannot imagine we're going to have a ton of people in here with how late it is, but I've been surprised before, and there might be a lot of anxious people out there right now. So instead of doing an update, I figured, you know what, I better come on here. Let's do a live, even though my voice is a little shot from the live earlier, from a few hours ago. But I just felt like it was imperative that I come on here now, and then we can kind of break this down together, and then we can see where we stand at the end of this, just to see exactly how this is going to turn, and what direction, if this is a fake out, a shakeout, or if this is something building into something more, and we've got to pay a little bit more attention to this. A few weeks ago, or last week, I talked about how after this rally up, we had never gone into all-time highs, or actually hit all-time highs leading to the halving. So instead of having the big collapse when we got there, what if we ended up consolidating leading into it, and then we had this push to unbelievable levels? So this could very well be the start of our consolidation. We know we built the handle the first time around at 69,500 down to 59,200 from 69,200 plus area. So that was a 10,000 point handle, and I've been speculating that I don't think that's enough if we're trying to get to 130,000, let's say. It could have been enough to get us to 89 or to 73.7 like we did, or the 82 after, but we never got a confirmation over 73.7. We hit the technical breakup target out of that broadening wedge, and now we're kind of stuck. And now we've corrected. We're down below 69,000 again. So now it's a matter of, are we going to continue pushing through? Bitcoin's got major areas that we're going to come upon here soon. Our first one, we just kind of went right through, which that wasn't really a very, we didn't know how heavy of a target this was going to be. This is what we're facing. It was about 60, what is that in current times? Then I'll get into the intro. About 69,000 there. So we'll see if this is a quick wick or not. And then if it validates that breakdown, you do have a technical target right around 60,100. So that's what I'd be watching for right now if we were to continue to break down. But I'm looking to see if there's, excuse me, something sneakier going on here. And maybe there's some kind of W reversal forming in all of these patterns. But we'll see. We will see. Whoa. Wow, there's a lot of people here already. Holy smokes, I was not expecting this. Was not expecting this. So let me do the intro, and then let me just say hi to everybody as quickly as possible. Good evening. 11:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, March 14th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So as we can see, we're having a bloodbath right now. If you're part of the crypto space for any length of time, you know, most times when we do correct, or when we go up, we have major corrections here. So we still stay positive. We take a look at the market for what it is, and we're going to break this down in an orderly fashion. Like I said, it's going to be 20 minutes, could be 40 minutes, I don't know. Lumen, welcome in. Damn, is this the last shakeout? Hold strong and temporary. As fast as it goes down, it can always go up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, that's why I came on, Lumen. I appreciate that. CJ2 Pilot, welcome in along with UK Phil, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Thank you both, and yes, stay positive. Daniel, GF Mezzo, welcome in. Yes, keep the emotions, or if you can't let the emotions get the best of you, then probably you're not meant to invest. Exactly. This is unfortunately part of the ebb and flows, and this is why I always say spot is king. A lot of people were talking about going long in the live, and I said I would not necessarily do that because it's too risky. You know, it's the same story as the last couple days. Herbert, thank you so much for the $5 donation, along with being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the 589 badge. I greatly appreciate that show of support. And John Patak, thank you so much for the $5 donation as well, and being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. How cool is that? Thank you both so much. Honestly, thank you so much. Bob, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Louville, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over a year. Tom Nago, thank you for being in Tom's Army for 3 months. I appreciate that. Fast pump, indeed. Indeed. Carhart and Nick, welcome in. EB says, welcome to crypto. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. If this is your first intro to crypto, get used to it. If you are watching and you're not afraid by this shakeout and you understand what's going on here, hit that like button. We have 64 likes. If you know what a shakeout is in crypto, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Anna says, thank you for coming on live right now. Very anxious at the moment. Absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome in takes 30 minutes. If you're talking about the intro, and that's, well, I guess so. That's something you're going to have to deal with. That's part of my personality. Let's see. I love it. Buy more now. Yes, indeed. I lived through AMC. This is, oh, I know. AMC a few years ago. I lived through that as well. I was a catastrophe, or I was somebody who they spared and knock at the time, Nokia. And yeah, everybody knows the story. I made a lot of money on the options, but they halted trading, and it cost me about 10 grand. Even though I still made 8, it cost me a lot of money. Let's see. So with Stellar Lumens, I know we're gonna start with a curveball, but Stellar Lumens right now, it's interesting because it did come up to our resistance. So there, we had a technical target up here, 16 cents. We took it down just because it was chopping it up in here. But now we came down, and now it's one of those things. A lot of these are touching the support areas. And right now in XLM, in the 3 hourly, we hit the 200. But more importantly is we have this support structure right here that we broke over, and we're trying to backtest at 13.4. If we can't backtest this properly, we could very well find ourselves going, you know, but I'm not anticipating that strong of a drop yet, because there are obvious levels we'd have to break through. I would be shocked if we didn't get some kind of return rally from 13.45, even if it's very bearish. We had a pretty overzealous drop there. So typically they're not just going to give the shorts easy money. So now I'm starting to see kind of like maybe we start getting a broadening. What if we start doing this? So we came boom, boom, boom. What if we start doing something like this? You know, it starts boom, 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 and then maybe if we're bullish, it jumps out like that. Or if we're bearish, we go boom, 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 you know, and then we can work our way through. But this looks like it could be some kind of volatility that's about to start here. So let's see exactly what happens here. I would not be surprised if we get some extreme volatility in the form of maybe starting to create some big wedges here. Like big broadening wedges maybe, because this looks like the making of something weird here. Like there's just too much volatility. Like, are we going to shake around, or are we just going to do something here? Hold on, I got to let my cat in. My cat decided to run out, and I told my cat it was raining, and it still ran outside. So I'll be 2 seconds. There it goes. I told you it was raining. Kitty, come on. Inside. Come on. Get me. Come on. Come on. Come inside. Good kitty. I say you're not staying out there. It's raining. You're gonna went out there before. Good job, Ghost. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay. XR Ponzi, someone says. Actually, if you understood it, you would find it rather easy to trade compared to most assets. See, the one thing that I can honestly say, being an XRP, a lot of different cryptos are very difficult to trade because they're so volatile. XRP is not as difficult to trade. It's more like a stable coin. I feel like this is a bear trap, like somebody said. Absolutely, I feel like this is a bear trap. It's just, did we hit that target on the breakdown on the outside of that handle? Man, we came very close. We came very close here. And the only reason I talked about this yesterday, in case it happened, or the night before when Quant was breaking out, because Quant did the same thing. Quant did the exact same thing. Look at this. So this is the handle version over here on Quant. I can make it bigger so everybody can see the actual cup. And then I'll go back into the smaller zone. So we did the cup and the handle, just like with XRP. And then what's interesting is we noticed this on Quant. We're like, what if XRP does this? So Quant, it breaks out of here, comes down first, right? It breaks down and then it shoots back up, and then now it's correcting. But it initially went and it broke down and then went up. So if XRP is doing anything similar, that's exactly, you know, we had a quick wick down and then it just zoomed, you know, and now we're going to see, because now it might, depends on the 200. We'll see if this actually plays out and then comes up. If not, it's going to come back into this area. But that's the exact thing that we're kind of trying to see, if it kind of gave us a heads up on XRP before the push up, that we would have a correction. But we knew if it didn't hold 66.6, we're not fools here. We knew 61.7 was next. If that doesn't hold, we know 58.5 and then 55 cents and 52. We know the routine. It's just a matter of, is this going to be something more or less? Yes, $1,000 soon. I don't know. If you're referring to my community, you've obviously never watched me before. I'm the one who gets criticized for saying it can never go to those levels. So when everybody says it's going there tomorrow, I highly doubt it's ever going to like 10,000 a token. It's not that I don't want it to go to $1,000 a token, but as a stable token, if we're lucky, we get to 10, and then from there you can try to double. And then once you get to 10, you always have the chance at 100. But, you know, as far as saying $1,000 next year or 10 years from now or 5, I think that's a lot of hogwash. I really do. I think everybody's going to be disappointed when I'm very happy. I bought it at 35 cents and not just 350. I believe one time it'll double at worst. I believe one time, even in worst case scenario, we'll go from 350 to 7. There's too much liquidity up there. I still think we'll go to $10 and $20 range. That's what my personal expectation is down the road. I just don't have my goggles on. You know, my facade goggles, the FUD goggles. So for me, $3,500, I mean, I'm very happy with $100,000 to $200,000 just on XRP on $3,500. Like, I am not going to complain. I see so many people that are broke, that are begging XRP to change their lives, and they don't think $3,500 to $100,000 to $200,000 is a good deal. You know, that's where I'm different from everybody. I don't push my channel on bullshit. Let's just put it that way. So if you're new, which a lot of you probably are because of what time it is, I don't talk those nonsense numbers. A lot of people get mad because I talk 350, 5, 10 in a good scenario, but you won't see me talk anything above it. Oh, hell yeah. If my 3,500 and we get to 350 and I can make 35 grand, I'd be ecstatic. And not to mention the other 13 cryptos we own, the other assets of the ISO and the IoTs. $50 would be fine with me. 500 grand on 10,000 tokens, fine with me. There's a lot of people that, for whatever reason, and you can always tell, and it's a shame because I've been there and I'm not far from there, but I was very poor growing up. And then I broke my back when I was 23, so I was even poorer in my early adulthood, even though I worked a lot before I got hurt. You know, it's not a pity party, but you got to figure it out. And I'll tell you this, you know, when you start looking at it and you're like, oh, I just threw $1,000 on here, can it really get to? And this is what they do. Oh, you can throw $1,000 on XRP, you'll make $1 million. Oh, okay. It's that easy, is it? You know, it's that doesn't help anybody because then you got the goggled eyes and you really don't know which way's up or down. I would rather just tell everybody, let's do this in cycle. Like I'm gonna have my 3-year anniversary March of this year or end of this month, March 30th. And I've not missed a day in 3 years, but in 2021, with the way we started, and there wasn't very many subscribers back then during the first cycle, we bought it at 47 cents on average. We sold it out at $1.66 when we realized the market was gonna crash. We had a rally back up, it failed, and that was it. We also know back in 2021 that XRP went from 59.5 cents to $1.98 in 9 days to finish out that entire run. The entire rally took 9 days. So with that being said, when you start building it into it now, I hear people that are not trying to buy it at 35 cents, not trying to buy it at 50. They're trying to buy it under 10 cents. But then the moment it pumped up to 72, they're buying it over 70. And now they're pissed because now, let's just say they bought $7,000 worth of it to buy 10 grand or 10,000 tokens. Now, right now, they're down like 620 bucks already. But they won't buy it at 35 cents. But then they don't want to miss out when it goes to 5,000. I mean, it doesn't. You got to have an emotionless response, but you also have to have a good plan. I don't worry about this up and down, ebb and flows nonsense. This is the amateur trader worries about these moves. And why I say that is because a lot of amateurs leverage trade. They are trying to swing trade when crypto is not about swing trading, in my opinion. Crypto is about buying into something and then accumulating during the bear market, the ruggedness when nobody wants it, and then you're already prime in position for when you have a breakout. It's no different than like what happened with AMP. Yeah, we bought in at a perfect time, but we waited for a cup to form, and we waited to shoot out of there, and it took a year, and that's what I was waiting for, the consolidation on the handle. We got in it a few days ago, spent 500 bucks. 2 days later, we were out at, what, 250%. That wasn't normal. That's not normal. You know, but we ended up selling it wholesale because we didn't expect it to go up like that in 20 hours or 25 hours. And now we sold it at 1.7 cents and now it's at 1.07. So that's a huge drop. Let's just put it in perspective. That's a huge drop. So, but when you're building a portfolio, you don't build it and say, I'm putting 3,500 into XRP and I expect it to get me to 350,000 or it's a waste. A lot of people say XRP owes them 35, 50, 100, $500 a token. Like, I don't want to say it and be rude, but the people that say this, it makes me realize they've never made any profit in crypto or trading, period. They're not even investing. They're just trying to throw money into a hot subject or because somebody they might have seen on TV or somebody on YouTube or Twitter or whatever the case may be. And they throw the money into it and then they lose it. And then it's just done, not realizing that they're actually onto something, but you got to do it in an appropriate way. I can't wait a few years from now to see all the people that were like, man, we watched XOP for how many years in the sense after 21? For years. And now we're sitting here buying it at 2, 3, 4. You know, that's going to be the part that's really going to be the real testament. When we start seeing everybody in here and they're not buying, but then all of a sudden when we get over $1, $2, they're start pushing all-time highs. Instead, they might spend $3,500, but they might only get 1,000 tokens to where our 3,500 got us 10,000. See, that's what I was trying to say back in the bull market of 21 or the bear market rally for XRP, is that you can't become millionaires in a bull market unless you have a bunch of money. You've got to get in the bear market when nobody wants to. Greed was getting pretty high now. So people were getting a little too comfortable here. So this is exactly what we needed. You want to be buying in when fear. That's why when everybody asks me, should I buy in here? What's a good? It's like nothing is technically a great deal around here because we've already had the consolidation below, and now we've already had a big rally. Even XDC. XDC had a nice rally. Now it's back down to that 496 second buy-in. You know, that, so if anybody was like, I just missed XDC at 496, this is again, are you willing to now buy it? I probably wouldn't here because I would just wait for it to come down and see if this channel holds. But it's just like, where is the point? Like, this is an opportunity. Like, if you missed and you were looking at XRP at 75 and you're like, oh, shoot. Where is the zone where you're like, okay, I'm ready to get in. I'm ready to take a shot on this crypto. It can't be when it's pumping. It can't. It's got to be when there's some kind of consolidation. You want to get in before the big rallies. Because then when it does these big dive downs and back up, and you'll notice, if you're in a position, the bigger the drop and the faster, the quicker snapshot rebound we eventually have once we bottomed out. So this is, I thrive on this. This is what I thrive on. And if you are watching right now in this late hour, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this video. I can't believe we have 139 viewers at almost midnight here Eastern Standard Time. But please hit that like button so that it can be recommended through the live, through YouTube. If you're looking to trade XRP in the USA, Canada, UK, around the world, BITUNIX in these high times of volatility, it stays up. Lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA, and they don't require a VPN. Don't require a VPN. So you don't have to feel like a criminal. And then if you don't want to do a KYC, just send crypto from another exchange and then withdraw it somewhere else. You know, you can't just send it to a bank and that kind of stuff. So take advantage of that. But I do think somehow, some way, this is going to end up being a bear trap here. It's just, where is that level at? Where do we find that level? Is this dotted line that we drew in here, is this going to end up playing as that support? That's 68,720. See, this is why it's a perfect spot right now, because now we're going to see, are we bullish or bearish? If we get rejected here, I have just over 1 billion VeChain under a penny. Oh my God. Do you really? That's a beautiful buy. That's beautiful. Caleb, you know the sauce that stay in the garbage bin, under the garbage bag? Exactly. Garbage sauce, that's XRP. Wow. Prospeed, I envy you, my friend. I envy you, my friend. That's an excellent bag. But I don't know if I could, I don't know if I believe you with 1 billion, but hey, you know, if you are, you're the big whale. You're the big whale. But again, you see all of these could be these volatile, like, are we going to do something like this? Like, or is it going to end up being something like this? I could totally see something like that even playing out. I see big volatility coming. I have big hopes on this. But we got to find the floor, folks. So if we came all the way down to 68,000, here's the question. If we came all the way down here, what's stopping us from exactly retesting at least 66,283? And I don't know why that keeps getting deleted. But this is like our line in the sand. We know. Remember it hit it before? Oh, right here. 66,187 the first time it got stopped. That's basically, if you get beyond that, then you're coming down to like 60,000. It's actually a little bit lower, because we broke down before. Let me put it over here. That was just my estimation of where we could break down. We broke down a little bit before. So it's like 59K. So that's basically double bottoming there. But if we come down to 59K, what's to stop us? And this was our argument. What's to stop us if we do break down? And this is why we didn't necessarily want to do this. But now that it looks like we're starting something here, and we'll go to the XRP Bitcoin pairing too as well. But if we do break down, for anybody new, we broke out of a broadening wedge and we actually hit the technical target. So what's stopping us now? Because that looks like a rising channel. We know rising channels are bearish reversals. And what happens in a rising channel? You come back down to the base. So you started here, which means you should come all the way back down to 59,000. If this does break down at 59,000, that's another 9,000 for Bitcoin. Where does that put XRP? Right now, XRP is undervalued. I always tell you, even in a scenario like this, even with a scenario like this, excellent. Somebody just said about the 100-day EMA. If we don't break back over 70K, that was excellent. Down to 60, 100%. But what does that do for XRP now? Because XRP, in my opinion, if you look at it, yeah, it's stupid to think of it this way, but this is what we have to do until further notice, folks. And it's kind of funny. XRP is usually the cent version of Bitcoin in the thousands. So if Bitcoin's at 68,300, XRP should be at 68.3 cents in today's scenario. So right now we're about 5 cents undervalued, or Bitcoin's about to crash to catch up. So I shorted XRP from 67 cents, 25x leverage. I made 4,500, then bought back at 61.30. Not bad. I mean, you absolutely hit good buys both ways. If you are telling me the truth, not that I don't believe you, but I get talked a lot of nonsense around here. I do follow the futures contracts, so I know it came down farther on the futures. And this is another thing I want to show everybody. See how much farther it came down on the futures? It came down to 605. On most of my other charts, you won't find it that, well, maybe this one you do. 609, 618. So it's okay. No, RG, I didn't say I don't believe you. I was saying I don't generally because I get bullshitted, but I believe you because you've been in here. You've been in here a lot. You got no reason to lie to me. I'm just hoping that it actually, it already has worked out for you, so you were able to do what you needed to do at 61 cents. Tom, you the best, my brother. When XRP hits $1, I will donate you for your hard work. So expect my donation in the year 2020. Hey, I think that's generous, 2045. Let's see, by 2045, I'll be the ripe old age of 61 years old. I mean, that'll be my retirement because the Lord knows we're not going to get any kind of retirement in the USA in 20 years. So you better be packing your bags now. Is the last fib support for XRP? If it goes past that, we are screwed, Matt says. Not true. We're not screwed. We're not screwed. I'll show you why. But we're not screwed. Yes, it could be very bleak down there. I'm not going to lie. It's very bleak when you start getting back down there. But it's not necessarily done. Ooh, Nick sent me a chart too. Excellent. See, I love this. Now we're starting to get I'm going to show some audience involvement here. Let's see. Hold on. I like to bounce some of the audience stuff off of my own now. But first thing I want to show is this one. This is from the Great Falling. This is XRP. So this does a great job explaining it. I promised that I wouldn't do my own because he did this before. So I just said we'd go off of his advanced cup and I just drew it in. So basically we can see here if we're paying attention. If you look at the high volume needed to push through this area at 74 to 77, you push up into here and then at 81, 86, or 88 and 94. But we can't get up there because we have major resistance there. We need a high volume breakout. So if we come back down to the support base, we went through 66.70. Right now it's bouncing off of 62.59. If you fall below this, it's 57.44. Now, more compelling, this is some more compelling stuff here real quickly. Let me get back into this. And now we can get into the order flow. So if we get into the order flow here, we can see underneath where the money's at, ladies and gentlemen. So if we look underneath the buy orders, you can see a big buy orders were down there at 605 or 61 cent area, 615. So we did tug that. We tugged that zone of money. So we did take that zone of money. And now we've got more money down there at 57, 58, down around 56. So you do have buy orders that were all stacked all the way below 67, all the way down that we've already tugged at about 608 area or 61 cents. We've tugged all of that now. We've taken all of that from the order book. So I think this is very important. We have a bunch of sell orders, as you can see, stacked up at 74, 75, up at 78. Puente says, Brother Tom, I think we get close to 20 bucks all-time highs this cycle before coming back to a buck. Let me finish reading that. Hey, I'd be all for that. Out for 200 grand, back in for 10 grand. I like that. But yeah, this is what the order flow looked like and where the money was stacked underneath. And then let's go back to the other chart real quick. And thank you for the $10 donation, Puentes. I really appreciate that. I really didn't know anybody, not just that anybody would be, this many people would be here, but I was not expecting a donation at all. And that's like unbelievable. All right, so we looked at that. Now we got to look at this. So pay attention here. Yeah, my NFL flag came. They want me to coach again. The first season I coached, we came in second. And then, as you guys know, last season, we got this baby. I know I'm gloating. Yeah. See? Although you can't see it, we were the champs. This was our second place the season before, so had to coach some flag football. My first 2 seasons, we came in second and first. So you can't argue with those results. But anyhow, do you think I should stay long at 613, brother? Okay, 61.3 cents. If you're long, are you in a spot trade? Are you in a spot trade? If it's a lever, there's 2 ways we can go about this. Are you in a spot trade? Because I can tell you there's a big flow at 57.4. Okay. What's your exact number, friend? Friend, what's your exact number? What's your number? Hurry up, because it's under 63. It's not necessarily that it's risky, because you actually did it at a good job. 613. All right, then we got to figure one thing out. So you got to approach it of one of 2 ways. One, if you want to play this very smart and not put those up to risk, right now we're at 63.24. So this is your one chance of a push-up. So if you're watching this right now, you got to stack it in 2 different ways. One, you let this finish playing up because it looks like it's not done exactly. Well, it could be done, but it looks like now it needs to play up to like maybe here. But don't get too focused on that because we very well could double bottom here. We've had the exhaustion. We've come down. Now, sometimes they do pull back. But what you're looking for is this 632 area. If you get rejected here, it's going to be very difficult for you to hold because before you know it, it could fall right back through your buy-in and then liquidate you in a second. You need to make sure that this area holds, or at least if it gets resisted on, you've got to have a stop loss somewhere below this. Like if you've got to have a stop loss somewhere catching you before it pushes through your buy-in. Even if you're trying to take a risk, maybe put it at 615. Or if you're looking to make a little bit and you're looking to risk, I mean, that's a lot to put into it. I would say 57. I mean, honestly, that's dangerous. I don't want to sell you out of something good, but if this 632 gets rejected, expect a quick drop to 57.5. That's why I showed you to the band zone. There's a lot of money down there at 57.5. It's also a handle support. You can put a stop if you're up quite a bit right here. If you want to take a chance and you want to see if you can hold your profit, put your stop. If you don't mind giving some back, put it below, I don't know your exchange, but you see this wick where it formed, put that stop loss below the wick. If you're looking to try to continue to push up, because if it comes below this wick, you're going to start to liquidate. More than likely, that's almost a guarantee. So if you're trying to play it risky, I suppose in the 5-minute, you could put it below this wick to try to give you a little bit of room. But I'm telling you, if it breaks this is going to be a quick drop. It's just you might have a little bit of a bull flag formed here. And some people would say don't put it until like 622. That's the issue because it could try to form like a W here somehow. It could try to go like this, maybe not even that far. See how it pulled down? It could try to like come into this level. So it's not uncommon where you have the exhaustion, You come down and then it pulls out and then it comes back down. We've seen that a lot. So I would just, at worst, you're not going to want to come back through that body. But if you're up handsomely, I would see how it rides in this area. And then you can even decide right now. You've got little areas here. Maybe you just come to the candle body at 63 cents. Now, I know there's not a lot of room, but you're not trying to give this back, especially if it's going to crash through. Now, the good thing about this is you bought after the drop. Whale Alert had like a crazy amount come. Wow. Wow. Of course it did. We're starting to see where all those XRP were taken off exchanges a few weeks ago, or the last few weeks, and now we're starting to see them being put back on, it looks like. So we'll see what's going on. But you're definitely in a good spot right now because you bought it at a perfect time. But now this is the risky part of this trade because there is a lot of money on the table here if it breaks up. Don't get me wrong. There sure is a lot of money on the table. If it does go like this, and then let's just say it even comes up to the 200 day. But you just got to make sure that this doesn't be an overwhelming rejection, because if it is, it's just going to keep doing what it did. And yeah, it does make me a little nervous. It does make me a little nervous down in these levels. But the bottom line is if we hold this little, I'm calling it a channel, so I don't care what anybody says. If it holds this little channel, you got some business here. You're in business. Actually, you know what? I'm doing you a disservice because this came off of there. So the actual number that you want to see is right around where it's at. 635. See, that's why it still was coming up. So I would take that. I would take what I was saying. And if you're very nervous, I would have that below that first wick. Just understanding if it breaks below there, there's probably no shot of holding. But if it blasts off from here, then you are in a great spot. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't necessarily be willing, just wanting to wholesale rid of it yet. Because what if it plays to the top here to 69? But at the same time, this is where the risk reward comes in. You know, but I still think you're pushing up just a tiny hair here is what I was trying to say. Brother Tom, can you peep out Casper and see if we can get back to 035? That's a healthy number because that's right where I bought in roughly. My very first buy-in. Well, it was a little bit below that. But this is the risk. Okay. So for the record, this is the risk we're talking about. If it pops up here and then it just comes down like this. Now, this is obviously done on the same drop now, on the second one. But Casper, it absolutely could get back down there. But yeah, that's contingent on 479 not holding. Then your the target down here on a breakdown is 333. It's essentially right on my first buy-in at 32. So, and remember, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here when things happen, but when you have these kind of formations, if it doesn't break out, you come back to where it started. And that could be just even below or right above that W that's formed right there. But if it doesn't break up, they've always come back down to the base. The base right now is around 362. So even if it doesn't come all the way to the uptrend, it still would have to come to the base if it continues to break. And a good key way to see this, and right now it's on the 200 and 3 hourly, it's that 200 day and the 2 hourly. Once that gives away, and this is at 456, that's a sign of a short-term pattern flip. Once you lose the 200 day and the 2 hourly, it's a sign of a flip, whether bullish or bearish, that you're tugging it. Sologenic, we talked during the live earlier, 15 cents, or just under 15 cents was a good, it's actually a little bit lower because it pulled out here. 14.4 cents is a great opportunity in this big consolidation to try to stack into it. Right now, my average on Solo, and I'm hoping that somehow, I don't mind if it comes down. I have 10,000 tokens, but the more I look at this token, this particular crypto, I would love to have more. I would love to have more because it's only got a $400 million or 400 million token circulating supply. It's on the XRP ledger, and it's tied in. Corium and Solo, they're basically tied at the hip with XRP. So like, for me, Solo, I made a promise to myself. If I have 10,000 XRP, somehow, some way, Solo's got to be in that equation with everything else I have, and I do. And that's right around, if you average everything in, I had 9 cents. I had some around 11 and a half cents. And the reason why was I had a nice breakout with Corium when it got to like 30 cents back in December, and it really opened the door for what I wanted to do here. And then this popped up right after, but I ended up seeing it pop here, came back down. I want to find exactly where that was at. It was in December. Because the average is like 11.2. I'm trying to figure out because I bought it 9 something. So it would have had to been somewhere on this tug down right here in mid to late December. No, I don't think it was 13.3. I want to say it was like 12.8. We could say 13.3. That gives us the clearance until Jan. Anyways, my average ended up being like 11.1 cents, and it started at 9.4 roughly. So, it obviously was up towards 13 cents to raise it like that. So and I went from 5 to 10,000 tokens for anybody who's wondering. So that's where we're at right now. And I believe in the utility of Sologenic. I believe in a lot of ways that maybe this can breach targets even higher than XRP because of the lack of a circulating supply. You got to remember the max circulating supply of this token. And it's 399.948 billion, right? Or million right now, 400 million max supply. So I think this is one that everybody should have on their radar. Corium I also like, but I did take an educated and informed move when we had just a crazy breakout back here. It was just crazy. There was no reason for this. I had just bought into this at 8 cents back here, and all of a sudden it's up here. So, that's like 400%. So I just took it, and I added in the rest of it to not just Solo, but I started dumping into other things. And one of them already paid off. Gala paid off, and then we start playing that game. But this is another one, Corium. If this starts coming back down, and it's going to have to come back down some more. Because I believe in Solo, I believe in Corium, but the current position it's in, it did exactly what I wanted and then some, and now it's like, now you just have to wait. You just have to wait. It is what it is. I had like 4,000 or 5,000 of these, and now I have 0. Because it got pushed into, like I said, it spawned into different cryptos after it had a big pump. I know we're going around and around and around, and I can't even believe that there's 166 people in here, nor can I believe that this is going to end up being an hour before I leave. And I just want to tell everybody, I don't even know how to express my thank you to everybody for being here this evening, because everybody else gets nervous watching the charts. It's not that I don't get anxiety. It's just like what calms my anxiety is I look at the charts. I try to, kind of do this kind of stuff, and it helps my mind go to ease because I can see what's going on. Manny, are you a fan of wrestling? I used to watch it for years. My dad, when I was growing up, we used to watch, he was a big fan of WCW and also WWE. I used to watch WF back in the day. But yeah, I love the Attitude Era. I was part of the Attitude Era for sure. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, because I'm 40 now. I just turned 40 in December, so a few months ago. So I used to love it. I haven't watched it in a while. But with everybody coming back, like The Rock and them bringing back some of the ones that were part of the Attitude Era, it does make it kind of intriguing to start watching some of the storylines. Keep doing the 3 lives a day, you need it. Well, the good thing is no matter what, I come on in the early AM and I do a 20 to 25 minute update. It's there for everybody, usually around 9:30, 10 a.m., sometimes 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I always do a short in the afternoon for 60 seconds, early afternoon, so everybody who doesn't want to watch longer videos can at least get it in tune with the day. And like today I said, in the short, if it doesn't break back over and we get rejected, and we can't break 70, it was 70 cents, but ultimately 66.6 cents or 67 cents. If we got rejected, we were going down to 61.6 cents. And that's exactly where we hit in that area. So the analysis works. It's just a matter of if we're being too biased, if you want it to go one way or the other. The charts aren't going to lie. They have no feelings. The charts, this is like the casino. The charts is like when you put your money into a slot machine and you pull the lever and it eats your money or it pays you out. It has no emotion. It's just doing what's next in code. Just like on TradingView, the charts. It doesn't care. It's just a bunch of random numbers put into one. So basically everything is it's like a statistical thing. So it's really cool to me. Your channel is going to take off. I can see you at 200,000 subs during this bull run. I've said my goal is to somehow try to push for 100,000 subscribers by 2028 through the cycles of crypto. But I can definitely see coming from nowhere in 21 and now in 24 already being over 20,000. That if we had the right environment, we do. Like I told Julie, asked me who my competition was, and I said nobody. She's like, "What do you mean?" And I started showing her the stations, and she's like, "That's what people watch." And she was kind of, I think she was offended that people actually watch a lot of some of the other people. But I told her, like, a lot of the stuff is FUD filled, so I won't do it. I'm not going to get famous because I push out nonsense. I'm going to get famous because I tell you guys the truth and what's going to happen. Nothing more, nothing less. So with algo, but I can totally see us going up there. It's just going to be a matter of people buying in. Once everybody, you know, a lot of people that come in here will just leave initially because of what I say, not because I'm mean or rude. Just because when you see everybody else saying we're going to 10,000 for XRP, and then you hear me say, well, 350 to 5, and then 5 to 10, that first double up, and they're like 10, 5, what? $10? Like, are you crazy? I'm not watching you, and that's what happens. They're like, oh, it's going down. Like, what? You're supposed to say it's going up every day. I don't even want to see your charts. Just tell me it's going to go up so I feel good. That's what everybody wants. I can't do that. So it takes time, but we'll get there. Yeah, if you look at the November of, actually, let's look at this real quick, then we'll go back into the November chart of XRP. Algo right now, beautifully done. Beautiful. This is absolutely beautifully done. Tailor-made. Ready? Don't go up too high. Cup. Overextended for the handle. Now, even if it comes down here, it would still be good. But the speculation is whenever you do something like this and you overshoot it, you might just put the handle right where your breakout target is, which means it could go like this and then bounce out. So that's the speculation. If this could hold around 27, 26 cents, is that it maybe puts the handle in like that, and then when it breaks back through the top, it's already ready to start pushing up to that 50 cent. That could be a quick hitter. This is going to be a quick hitter once it happens, but notice how everything found itself there. That doesn't mean that it has to go way back up. And my RSI is inverted, if you're wondering why it's not oversold right now and it's actually overbought. That's because my RSI is inverted. I invert it to the price. So this is overbought real bad. But that doesn't mean that it can't just bounce up and then come right back down. That's where the bulls can stay in position. So that's algo. And then what I was saying with XRP is the last shakeout. So if we want to talk last shakeout, and let's say we do a real last shakeout, it's telling us that our last hit of support should be around 53 cents or 52.5 cents. This chart has been dead on every single time we've had a move. Look at this. Watch this. From the time we had a wick down, just from the back end, off consolidation, up. Right? Wick down, up. Wick down, up. Another wick down. Because it did it here, down. Back up, down. And it always hits this uptrend. So basically, the speculation is you go 52, 51.8, back up here real quick. That's why I said, is there a chance that these patterns are starting to show us it already? That we're going to get into this volatile, broadening wedge style, ba-boom, 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 is it possible that we start to, like, I want to see, or do we just go, I want to see exactly what this is playing out for. So it's either that, or you're going to get some kind of weird volatility off of this, like, it's going to get weird. This looks like it's going to get weird. Or you get lucky and it just bounces into a W and we just call it a day and say, yep, nothing to fear here. There's nothing to fear either way, folks. These are just short-term moves for a bigger, longer game. 6107, 5944, 5786 are the fib support for this dip, then up. Excellent. Excellent. XRP will correct to below 50 cents. Okay, if you want to take that route, we can certainly look that route too. We got that. We'll just look at the all-time chart here. It's the all-time formation here, so we'll just take a look at this chart and see what that shows us. So if we come down into your area below 50 cents, the bottom of this formation, and this goes back to January of 2018, we made all-time highs. This uptrending support right here, for the record, has not failed since 2020 when it first started at 10.3 cents approximately. So this tells us if we come all the way down to this is the all-time formation from all-time highs, at 38.5 cents, it could come down to as the floor. And what did I say for months? We're going to come up there even if we're bearish and we're going to get rejected at 75 or we'll break through eventually. Well, the one obvious surefire problem that I see in this chart, just from an observation standpoint, if we're looking for a correction, and we're going to do this the best way I know. What are we starting to see? Outside of the dips, what are we starting to see? That almost looks like a rising channel. What do we know about rising channels if they don't bust out? They come back to the base. If it comes all the way back to the base, you're talking at that. That's why that 50-cent level is looking very intriguing if it breaks down. But we doom. But we're not getting that explosion. We're not getting an explosive move. It's always followed by boom, boom, boom. And these are bullish if you can continue out. The moment you break it, this turns into a head and shoulders before you know it. And then it's just like, oh boy, how did this happen? So that's what we're watching out for. So tonight, because I'm going to have to get going shortly, say about about 8 to 9 minutes here, and then I'm going to have to get going because it's getting late. And everybody's sleeping in my house, and the kids have to get to school early. It can with a quick wick. Nothing is guaranteed. Yep, nothing is guaranteed. And no one truly say just because we are in whatever phase it won't have. Exactly. Expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected is 100% the truth. 100% the truth. And Bitcoin right now is over 68,000 again. Well, it's over 68,000 right now, but we could very well be pointing at that 66,187. That's like your overextension. If that doesn't hold, you know you're coming down likely to around that 60K. My apologies, but one thing I struggle to understand with XRP or other utility cryptos, as usage increases, will this not increase volume of transactions? If so, won't that affect the volatility? That's not a bad question. You're talking as far as gas fees and stuff like that. I wouldn't necessarily say it's going to affect it in a deflationary way, but it's definitely something to pay attention to. Although with XRP, because technically the crazy thing is with XRP, technically one could say it's nothing more than a gas fee. You know, it's a token. It sends its own thing, and it actually benefits from all of the back and forth. And with the let's just call it the gas fees, it actually can help it with the pricing. Some speculate that volume will actually increase the price. Today, MC on market cap was about 38 billion. Now it's like, yep, 33. Let's see where it's 34.7 billion right now, down 5.1% or down 1.87 billion on the day. And this is, unfortunately, these levels are still standing. We couldn't get above 38.9 and hold. And now we did the one thing we didn't want to do. We talked about it. A breakout here without even hitting there, but coming back through, and now you consolidate. Now does it come down from there? Or is this the consolidation that does something like that? That's what you'd be hoping for if it's bullish. If we start to see something like this, and then that's bad. You don't want to see that. You might want to see a head drawn, and then start coming through. But if you start to see like bam, and then you really don't want to see anything where it starts coming up like that. So down, and now if you start seeing, that's what I mean. So there's room here if the market wants to start pushing up, like the 200-day, even in the 3-hourly, it's tapping right now when it hit it. Now it's trying to see, as you can see, it's trying to line it up perfectly right now. Like, we're in an interesting spot here, folks. And don't you guys find it ironic that every single night they do this when most people on the East Coast are passed out? And now when most people went to bed, and this is what I've been noticing, it crashes when everybody's going to bed. Late on the East Coast, a little earlier on the West Coast. Then all of a sudden by 2, 3 in the morning on the East Coast, up until about 5, somehow they find the light of God and the saving grace, and somehow the crypto market pumps all the time. But then by 7:30, 8 o'clock, wouldn't you know it, it's already back down below those levels and then some. Holy moly, Manny Dots, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army in month one. That is the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. It sure as day is. And I'm not talking Ryan Day here. No crybabies allowed. We cheap shot. That's my face superimposed on there. And it sure is. So I want to thank Amber. She's out there in the abyss somewhere. Before I ever started this channel, she made that cool emoji badge for me, and I incorporated it in my channel as my month one badge. So I appreciate that. You made me the happiest person on the planet. No joke. Kryptonian, welcome in. Thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for 1 month as well, with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Manny, I really appreciate that. You said, yes, sir, you deserve it. I appreciate that. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate the conversation from everybody here this evening. So I want to wind this down here. If you do appreciate my work, please make sure that that subscribe button is. We're over 20,800 as of yesterday, but we are quickly approaching 20,900 in just a day and a half later. It's crazy. So I do appreciate all the support. Can I get DX 2 words? Are we talking about Degeneration X from back in the day? Are we talking the same thing? Like, suck it, Bitcoin? Yeah, I remember I used to love all that. If it wasn't so late, I'd scream it for you, Manny. Maybe tomorrow I will. But everybody's sleeping in my house. I don't want to get in trouble. Julie will come out here and be like, the girls are sleeping. She won't be mean about it, but, she's very nice. I'm very lucky because she's very nice. But that's why I'm with her for over a decade. What did that liquidation say? To buy. Total liquidations within 24 hours is 650 million. Oh, my goodness. That's excellent. Do it like you're in the middle of the ring. Oh, I probably would. I watched some old Tom videos. They were awesome. Matt, yeah. If you go back into 2021 when I was, let's just say 2021 to 2022 was the attitude era around here. 23 was trying to find ourselves. In 24, we put it all together. Oh, you've seen the Dusty one? Oh my God, it's that finally. Yeah, that's where the second month badge, the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News came from. Well, some of you know the station here. He's got like 150, 200,000 subscribers. But yeah, he bagged me in the beginning, and I lost a bunch of my audience because they all told me I was crazy when I said XRP was going to go down under 40 cents, and the first target was 52, which it hit that on. They were all mad. YouTube auto-played it. That is excellent. So yeah, so you know where the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News comes from. And I just told him I want an apology when XRP goes sub 50 cents, and he called me a lunatic. I was like, all right, well, you're going to cost your audience all their money, and then you're just going to act like it never happened, and that's what happened. That's what everybody did. But that's okay. Oh my God, Matt, you did watch the whole thing. Keep my mother. See, and I said keep that name out of my name out of your mouth well before Will Smith ever came up with that. That was my moment there. But yeah, so that's about it, everybody. That's about it. I appreciate all of you. Just remember, in conclusion, for XRP here, the main thing we need to. Oh man, it was so that was some content back then. Not very many people watching, but that was some content. With XRP though, watch this. First level 635, 200 days right below that 631. We'll see if we can hold this channel, and then we could have a volatile swing back up to 69. Remember this though, if we fail to break 70 cents on the next push, if there is one, and we get rejected, that's your outlier. If we do not come back up and break 70 cents, according to even the Fibonacci levels, we could be going into a expansion back down to a supply zone. Let's just put it. So it's just very interesting. It's very interesting. what could happen here. So just watch those levels. If they fail, you're looking for a quick drop down. 57.5 range, 58 cents, followed by around 55. Bottom line down to about 51.5. If you lose that, then we start talking 2020 uptrend that has to hold down all the way at 38 cents would be your line in the sand. If that breaks, we got problems. But even right now, the crazy thing is, it's been a long day, XR Raptor. Trust me. And then I'll be right back here in the morning. But let's watch these levels. For Bitcoin, 68,000 is important. It's very important. Actually, no, it's not. 68,000. Let's call this when it comes up here. 69,000. If Bitcoin stays below 69,000, the technical drop out of this brings you all the way down to 59K. And that's contingent on 66,187 losing its course. If we lose that, I'm not sure what's going to hold it. That's the last stand right there. Yes, supply and demand. There you go. Thank you. So, thank you, everybody. I hope this helped. I hope me coming on now for the last hour helped everybody. I'm blessed. I'm honored and privileged. If you made it until the end, hit hashtag be better, do better in the comments. Yes, Matt already did it. You're 100% into XRP at once. Got rid of my XRP after I realized I had drunk the Kool-Aid. XRP is so bad. Now, see, you drunk the Kool-Aid, but it all depends on where you're buying, friend. Like, that's all I can say. I made a lot of money off of XRP in 21 and then again here in 24. Unrealized P&L right now. But I also have like 12, 13 other assets along with XRP. So I get what you're saying. Infamous, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army as well as I walk out the door. Thank you all so much. Round and round we go, as some would say. The visitor says, as a matter of fact. Nick Morales, thank you so much. And Nick, wait a minute, Nick. I seen something from Nick. I know I did. Nick, I seen something from you in my email recently, didn't I? I thought so. Okay. I'm going to show some of these later too, but I want to look at this real quick, Nick, because you had some interesting levels here, because you have the 46.5 cent underneath there as well. I like that you have the FVG on here in the monthlies too. So, Nick, we're going to expand on this tomorrow too, but I want everybody to see, like, we have some more stuff to talk about tomorrow as well. Look at that underneath that 46.5 cents. If we do come farther down, I like this a lot though. But this is the one I wanted everybody to see. So that's 64.3 cents. And you see exactly what happened. We ended up falling through there. Now, I almost want to say this coming back up. I know there's a lot of levels, but that's a big one to watch right now too. The daily FEG. Let's see. Then, yeah, see, this lines up pretty good at that 57, 55 area. And then if it comes down below, it's going to tap that 51, 52 cent area. Demand zone even farther down if it needs to come back down to supply. I like that 46.5 if we have to come down there. So we'll get more into this as well, everybody. Thank you, Nick, for sending this. But we're going to get more into your charts tomorrow, Nick. I just didn't want to show it until I seen your name, and I'm surprised I seen you here this evening, to be honest with you. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to go check on my son. I appreciate all of you. Just stay emotionless. And Nick, I'm so blessed that you sent that, because I was actually going through the XDC chart when you sent that, and then I noticed you had an XDC one as well. So with XDC, if we continue rotating down, let's just say this pivot point is a resistance at 505. No big deal. We come back down to 47 area for the next step. So pay attention, everybody. Please pay attention. Don't do anything stupid. Spot is king for a reason. If you're leverage trading, pay very close attention, either long or short. Don't give it all back. Don't give it all back. And I'm speaking to one person in particular with XRP. You know who I'm talking to. So thank you all so much. Jan Love, thank you so much for being in here as well and being in Tom's Army for over 2 years. Have a blessed evening, everybody. I love you.